The X-Men are one of the most successful superhero franchises of all time. One of those reasons for the success is the relevance of its theme, that minorities are often mistreated and prosecuted in a society. If you're black or Jewish or an immigrant, you can relate to the struggle of the X-Men to try to exist in peace, without fear of being persecuted for who you are. Today, I want to make the argument that the X-Men are just a metaphor for the battle for equal rights for LGBT people. Welcome back to Comic Power. I'm your host, Comic Killer 72. Welcome to this special report called The X-Men Are So Gay, where I explore the theory that mutantism is just a stand-in for the LGBT experience in America. Please subscribe to this channel and also click on the notification bell as well. It will remind you when new videos come out. Alright, now let's get right into it. With any discussion with the X-Men, you have to start with the main two pillar characters, and that's going to be Professor X and Magneto. They both start out in a friendly partnership trying to assist young mutants deal with who they are and help them. But this partnership dissolves over a disagreement on tactics. If you look through this through the lens of alternative lifestyles, it appears that Professor X represents the LGBT population that wants to remain in the closet, don't make any waves, live amongst the straight people, just keep your personal life to yourself, and don't make the majority uncomfortable. And Magneto may represent those who want to be out of the closet saying, this is me, this is who I am. If you don't like it, then that's just too bad, because we're here, we're queer, and we're not going anywhere. Let's look at this battle through the lens of entertainment, and even though this industry is probably one of the most progressive and liberal, even in this industry, the question of sexual identity is still controversial. Let's look at the late George Michael, who was an international pop star, skyrocketing to fame in 1983 with Wham, and then his own solo career. In the 1980s, he was just as big as Prince, Michael Jackson, and Madonna. He had always been gay his whole adult life, but had kept it a secret. He was viewed as a heartthrob and a sex symbol by millions of female fans. So what did he have to gain by admitting this secret? He didn't come out of the closet until 1998, 15 years after he first became famous. In the genre of soul and R&B ballads, there was no one bigger than Luther Vandross. He made these incredible ballads that heterosexual couples used to get married to. Even myself, this song So Amazing played at my wedding. He dodged questions about his sexuality his whole career, was never connected to any particular woman, and had some very gay mannerisms. But if he was, he took it to the grave. He died at the age of 54 in 2005 after complications from a stroke. And once again, what did he have to gain by coming out if he would have in his lifetime? But if you flip the coin over, you will have people that came out and didn't care, such as Elton John, who came out in the early 1970s. See, he wasn't basically just gay, he was like flamboyant gay. It didn't seem to have any real negative impact on his career. His music is like the soundtrack for a lot of people's lives. I mean, he did music for The Lion King in the 1990s in this animated movie at a time where Disney films were associated with openly gay people. And then there's the late David Bowie, who came out as openly bisexual in the 1970s. And he too did not seem to have any backlash or any negative feedback on his career, which lasted over 5 decades. Then there's Jodie Foster, who first got famous in 1976 opposite Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver. She won a Best Actress statue for The Silence of the Lambs in her iconic role as Claire Reese. There were rumors of her being a closet lesbian back in 1991. And she had a female partner as early as 1993, but didn't officially come out until 2013. And then there's Kristen Stewart, who rose to fame as the lead female in the Twilight series. She was seen dating women in public as early as 2012, but didn't officially come out as bisexual until 2017. She claims that she was approached by movie studios about possibly playing a superhero role, but allegedly they had warned her not to appear in public with her girlfriend. So that question in entertainment circles is it detrimental to your career if you come out? And you should be who you are, but just keep it hidden. That's the Professor X theory. Or should you just go ahead and come out and let people know who you are and don't care? It's not you who has a problem, it's those who have a problem with you are the ones that have a problem. That's the Magneto theory. The X-Men universe has been proven friendly to the alternative lifestyle community from the beginning. As a matter of fact, the first openly gay character happened in the X-Men universe in issue number 106 of Alpha Flight, where North Star comes out of the closet. Alpha Flight is a team of superheroes that are mutants from Canada, so think of them as the Canadian X-Men. And remember, this is 1992, so 28 years ago from the time I made this video. So this was a big deal back then. Alpha Flight was never really that popular as a team. You can get a lot of their back issues in the dollar bin, but issue 106 still sells for around $150, 9.8 CGC. So nearly 30 years later, it still has cultural significance. In astonishing X-Men issue number 51 from 2012, North Star eventually marries his boyfriend with all of the X-Men in attendance. So based on what we know about the X-Men, it only seems natural that the first openly gay character and the first openly gay wedding would happen in the pages of X-Men. Then there's the character of Mystique, who has been portrayed as a villain in the X-Men universe. In the movies, she was portrayed by Rebecca Ramon, and in the second wave of the movies, she was played by Jennifer Lawrence. She's a shapeshifter character, and in the comics, she's portrayed as being openly bisexual. I don't think it's a stretch of the imagination that this character is a metaphor for transgender people, being that her mutant power is shapeshifting. She's biologically female, but being a man or a woman is just cosmetic for this character. In the X-Men Part 2 movie, also known as X-Men United, they play up the X-Men as gay metaphor premise very strongly. If you remember the scene where Bobby Drake, aka Iceman, returns home and his parents are completely in the dark that he has superpowers, and he decides to come out of the closet, so to speak, and show them that he's a mutant. And he freezes her coffee and turns it into a big block of ice. And for comedic effect, of course, the cat starts licking on it. And also in this scene, you get that famous line from his mother when she says, "Have you ever tried not being a mutant?" This hit home to a lot of LGBT youth, and it was a direct parallel to what they go through when they had to come out of the closet to disapproving parents, in which some think is a phase or they just can't accept this idea that their kid may be gay. So the phrase, "Have you ever tried not being a mutant?" is the same as "Have you tried not being gay?" The wording is not an accident. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the people involved with the X-Men live action movies were LGBT people as well. The original director of the X-Men films, Bryan Singer, is openly bisexual. The actor Ian McKellen, who plays Magneto, is openly gay. The actress Ellen Page, who plays Kitty Pryde, is openly gay. And the actress Brianna Hildebrand, who plays Negasonic Teenage Warhead in Deadpool, is openly bisexual. And speaking of Deadpool, her character is shown to be a lesbian in part 2 of this franchise. Her girlfriend is introduced as Yokio, a young Japanese woman, played by Shiari Katsuna. Their relationship is acknowledged but doesn't get a lot of screen time in the movie, but it was a big hit with fans. There have been numerous fan art pieces about these characters together, and cosplayers as well love it. Deadpool 2 also gives us a gay allegory with the character Fire Fist, an unstable mutant teen at a mutant re-education center. They put a collar on him to try to dampen his powers, and they also put him through electroshock therapy. This is a not so subtle tie-in to conversion therapy, which is a pseudoscientific practice of trying to change an individual's sexual orientation from homosexual and bisexual to heterosexual using psychological, spiritual, or some cases physical intervention, such as the shock therapy that I just mentioned. The American Psychiatric Association used to list homosexuality as a mental disorder. It wasn't removed from that list until 1974. I'm not making this up. This travesty is a true story. But people who believe in conversion therapy still believe it's a psychological disorder and are still trying this practice, which has not been proven effective, whatever effective means in the first. So the process of trying to ungay somebody is just some junk science. If you remember X-Men 3, The Last Stand, it was a horrible movie, but the premise was that there was a cure for mutantism, which ties in directly to what I'm talking about. Hey, are you a mutant you don't want to be? Take this cure. Or are you gay you don't want to be? Take this cure. They're doing the same thing. The gay rights movement as we know it was spearheaded by a police raid at the Stonewall Inn in Manhattan in June of 1969. And the LGBT participants started to fight back against the police, and it turned to a full-scale riot. The NYPD was basically acting like sentinels. These are the robots that are programmed to capture or kill mutants, first introduced in X-Men number 14 back in 1965. So once again, you can see a parallel. So there you have it, my evidence of how I think that the story of the X-Men is linked as an allegory to the equal rights or the fight for equal rights for LGBT people. In full disclosure, I am a heterosexual African-American man who is married to a heterosexual African-American female. And I am a supporter of the LGBT community. Please be sure to speak up in the comment section about my theory. Your honest feedback is appreciated, but anything that sounds like hate speech will be deleted. I make this video in June, so happy Pride Month. You know the drill. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, give the thumbs up, and share these videos on social media so other people learn about the channel. And don't forget, I do sell comics at my eBay page listed here with a link in the description. One Stop Thrift and Comic Power are run by the same guy. That would be me, Comic Killer 72. I have 100% feedback, by the way. And once again, thank you to my subscribers and viewers who support Comic Power. Until next time, this is Comic Killer 72 for Comic Power saying bye-bye.